dear students, welcome back to SPHS channel. Today in this session we are going to discuss about 8th standard science. Listen, chapter 1, chapter name is crop production and management. Chapter name is crop production management. In the previous session we have discussed about sowing, traditional tool and seed drill. All these things we have discussed in the previous class. Today's session we are going to discuss about adding manure and fertilizers. Adding manure and fertilizers. So before that, as usual, we'll discuss few GK questions. In that first one is, compost manure is formed from. Listen question carefully. Compost manure is formed from animal refuse and rotten vegetables. Animal refuse and rotten vegetables. Which nutrient is maximum given for raising the field crops? Which nutrient is maximum given for raising the field crops? The answer is nitrogen. Answer is nitrogen. With that, we'll start today's session, adding manure and fertilizers. So, adding manure and fertilizers, the substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. So manure and fertilizers, before starting that you must know about manure and fertilizers. So what exactly manure and fertilizers? Okay, so manure, these are substances. Manure and fertilizers are substances which are added to the soil. So those manure and fertilizers are added to the soil. For what purpose we have to add? So added to the soil in the form of what? In the form of nutrients. In the form of nutrients. For what we are adding this manure and fertilizers to the soil in the form of nutrient? For what purpose? For the healthy growth of plants. For the healthy growth of plants. So first one is manure and fertilizers or substances which are added to the soil in the form of what form? The form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants. So those are called manure and fertilizers. Okay. And why do some plants grow better than others? So question is, why do some plants grow better than others? You can observe in the field some crops will grow very healthy and some crops cannot able to grow healthy. Okay, so what may be the reason? So why do some plants grow better than others? So what may be the reason? We'll discuss now. Soil supplies mineral nutrition to the crop plants. Okay, so soil supplies. What soil is supplying? Minerals and nutrient to the crop plants. These nutrients are essential. So those nutrients are essential for what? So these nutrients are essential for growth of plants. So what we are discussing about? Question. What is that question? Why do some plants grow better than others? Okay. So why? What may be the reason? So soil supplies nutrients and minerals to that particular crop plants. Okay. So that nutrients are essential for the growth of plants. Okay. And in certain areas, farmers grow crop after crop in the same field. So certain areas, some particular areas, what happens? Farmers will grow the crop after crop field. Okay. So crop in the same field. So one crop cultivation is over, then again they will do another crop cultivation in that same soil. So the field is never left uncultivated or fallow. So then they will not never left that particular land is uncultivated or fallow. Fallow is nothing but the term fallow refer to land. So the term fallow refer to that land that is plowed and tilled. So plowed and tilled but left unseeded during a growing season. So that they will do plowing, tilling, all those things, but they will not do any cultivation in that particular land. They will not do seedling. Okay. So unseeded land. Okay. And so first question, what? Why do some plants grow better than others? So why do some plants grow better than others? So soil supplies minerals, nutrient to that particular crop plants. So that nutrients are essential for growth of plants. So they will absorb those nutrients, that plants will grow very healthy. Okay. And in certain areas, so some certain areas, farmers what they will do, they will grow crops after. So one particular crop cultivation is over, then again immediately they will do another plants crops cultivation in that particular same area. They will never left that particular area uncultivated. Okay, so the field is never left uncultivated or fallow. So continuously they will be doing. Okay, so imagine, next question, imagine what happens to the nutrients. So what happens to the nutrients? Next question. You just imagine what happens to the nutrient. Continuous cultivation of crops make the soil poor in nutrients. So what happens? They will be doing continuation cultivation. So one crop cultivation over means next crops. So here what happens to that particular nutrient if continuation cultivation taking place? So continuous cultivation of crops make the soil poor in nutrients. So continuously they are doing cultivation means that makes the soil very poor in nutrients. So what happens if a nutrient is very poor? Therefore farmers have to add manure to the fields to replenish the soil with nutrients. So what happens? So therefore the farmers has to add the manure in that particular situation. So why they want to add manure to that particular situation? They want to, it will replenish the soil to get the nutrients back. So replenish means to refill, to fill or build up again. So what happens as soon as we are adding the manure, it will refill the nutrients. Okay, and it is called, this process is called manuring. So this process is called manuring, and improper or insufficient manuring results in weak plants. So improper manuring or insufficient manuring will cause the plants to poor, weak plants. So it results in weak plants. Second question what we have discussed, what happens to the nutrients. So continuation cultivation will cause the soil to very poor in nutrients. If the nutrient is very less, so what happens, the plant will not grow very healthy. So for that purpose what we have to do, so therefore farmers has to add some manure to replenish the nutrients in the soil. Okay, so next one is manure is an organic substance. So manure we want to add. So manure means what? So manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition. So how it is obtaining? Decomposition of plant animal wastes. So manure is an organic substances. So it obtained from the decomposition of plants and animals. Farmers dump plant and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. So farmers what they will do, they will dump this plant and animal waste in small pits, and they will pits at open places, they will leave at open places and allow it to decompose. And the decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. Our decomposition taking place, it is caused by microorganisms, and the decomposed matter is used as an organic manure. So after decomposition we are using for organic manure. So manure means what? Manure is an organic substances. How it will obtain? Farmers obtain manure by decomposition of plants and animal waste. Okay, and next how they will prepare this manure. So what happen? Farmers they will dump this animal and plant waste in on small pits, and they will left in open area. So what happens? The decomposition will taking place. How the decomposition? How the decomposition will take place? So decomposition caused by the some microorganisms. Okay. So after decomposition, what happens? They will use for a organic manure. Okay. And next one is fertilizers. Next one is fertilizers. Fertilizers or chemicals. So fertilizers, manures are organic substances. Fertilizers or chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrients. So fertilizers are chemical substances, they are rich in particular nutrients. So how they differ from manure? So this fertilizers, how they differ from manure? So fertilizers are produced in factories. Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, and NPK. NPK is nothing but nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. NPK NPK is nothing but nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So fertilizers are chemical substances. Yeah? They will which are rich in particular nutrients. And what is the different, how they are, these fertilizers are different from manure, how they are differing from manure. So these fertilizers are produced in factories and they are rich in some particular nutrients. What are those? For examples of fertilizers, urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate and potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And the use of fertilizers has helped farmers to get better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize. So the use of fertilizers, they will help the farmers to yield better crops. For example, what are those better crops? Wheat, paddy and maize. But excessive use of, so this is advantage. What is the advantage? If you use fertilizers, they will give better good yield. Okay. So what are those? Wheat, paddy and maize. But some disadvantages also is there. So if you use over excessive fertilizers, so that will make the soil less fertile. So that will make the soil less fertile. Fertile is nothing but capable of producing abundant vegetation or crops. Fertile means what? It is a capability of producing abundant crops. But if you use more fertilizers, that will make that particular land less fertile. So less crops only it will produce. Okay. So fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. So it causes the water pollution also. So therefore, in order to maintain the fertility of the soil, so we have to maintain the fertility of the soil, then only we'll get good yield. And we have to substitute. So for that purpose, we have to substitute fertilizers with organic manure. I'll leave the field and cultivator in between two crops. So we have to use substitute for fertilizers with organic manure. Okay. And next, the use of manure improves soil textures. So if you use manure, it improves the soil textures as well as its water retaining capacity. What? Water retaining capacity. And it replenishes the soil with nutrients. Replenishes means what? Fill up. So one first method is adding manure to replenish the soil. So another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients is through crop rotation. So another method is what? Crop rotation. So another method of replenishing the soil with the nutrients through crop rotation. First one is adding manure. Okay, second one is crop rotation. So crop rotation means what? This can be done by growing different crops alternatively. So how we crop rotation? So not only same kind of crops growing in the field. So different crops alternatively we have to grow. And earlier farmers in northern India used to grow legumes as fodder in one season and wheat in the next season. So legumes as fodder is nothing but it is food that is given to cows, horses and other animals. So cows and horses, that is food. Food is nothing but food to give animals like cows and horses. Okay. And next season they will grow wheat. This helped in the replenishment of the soil with nitrogen. So like this, if alternatively we are growing crops, means this helps the soil to replenish, to recharge, to fill again the nutrients, nitrogen. Okay. So farmers are being encouraged to adapt this practice. That is crop rotation practice. In the previous classes, you have learnt about rhizobium bacteria. So in the previous class, we have discussed about rhizobium bacteria. So these are present in the nodules of roots of leguminous plants. So where this bacteria will present nodules of the roots of the particular plants, leguminous plants. Okay, and they fix atmospheric nitrogen. So they will fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the roots. And next, what are the advantages of manure? The organic manure is considered better than fertilizers. So manure is considered better than fertilizers. This is because, for what reason we are saying manure is better than fertilizers? So first one is it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. So it always enhances the water holding capacity. The next one is it makes the soil porous, due to which easy exchange of gases. Due to which exchange of gases become very easy. So it makes the soil porous. Porous means holes, some gaps. So if it is gaps is there, so what happens? The soil, the breathing, the exchange of gases will be very easy. It increases the number of friendly microbes, and it also increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. So because of these reasons, what happens? Manure is better than fertilizers. Thank you, children.